Cincinnati Bengals versus Miami Dolphins. Now, Tua Tagovailoa did not play. It's going to take me like a year to get that name to really just roll off the tongue, David. It's tough for me, but he didn't play because the injury issue. It's interesting just to watch and see what Miami does with the quarterback situation. If Tua's not in tip-top shape, shoot, go to Fitzpatrick. I have no problem with that. I think he's won 3 or 4 in a row as a starting quarterback for the Dolphins. Almost pulled them back from behind in the game that they lost recently. Miami's still in a pretty nice position. They do have a tough schedule, though, and they have a showdown with the Raiders coming in later in the season. Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going over to Ryan. Was it Ryan Lindley that they went to? No, it was another guy. It was Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen they went to. They gave the Giants a run for their money. Bad on the Giants, good on the Cincinnati Bengals. Quickly, fantasy football. I'm just still staying away from everything from Cincinnati outside of maybe Higgins. Maybe Tyler Boyd, too. You know what? I should give Brandon Allen a little bit more credit. He's not Ryan Lindley. I don't like Ryan Lindley at all. With Brandon Allen, you can get some juice out of the receiving game. They should be behind. Miami's defense is really good, so we proceed with caution. I have a nice projection on the running back in Cincinnati, whoever they may be this week, the primary ball handler. But it's Miami's defense I'm going to stay away. For the Dolphins quarterback, whether it's Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think they're a play this week. So if you really need a win and you're hurting at quarterback, that might be somebody off of waivers you can pick up still. Devontae Parker is my other start. I'm still waiting and seeing if Gaskin is active for the game. I don't have a great projection on him, but I will roll with Gaskin if he's available this week for the Dolphins. Take it away, David.
Man, we got to be rooting for Fitzpatrick, right?
I am.
He's been a better fantasy option than Tua, and this is not to beat Tua down.
No, absolutely not.
This is week 13. We want certainty. We want the points.
Yeah, we do.
We want Ryan Fitzpatrick in for another game, and hopefully he is, because Tua, I don't know if he practiced at all last week. He had the thumb injury. He's a young quarterback. They're not going to want to send him out there if he's not 100% healthy. So I could easily see Fitzpatrick getting another start, especially if we don't have any news on it early in the week. Just get that claim in. Get Fitzpatrick on your roster. I would like to start Myles Gaskin as well if he plays, just because we've seen that they want to give one running back most of the workload, whether it was Gaskin first and Ahmed when Gaskin was out, and Patrick Laird and DeAndre Washington. Just we know what they are. They're fringe talents, barely can hang on to the end of an NFL roster. So it should be the Myles Gaskin show. If he's back, Devontae Parker, obviously start him. It's a cake matchup against the Bengals. On the other side, I'm not thrilled about any Bengals, but I'm about ready to flip-flop. And this past week against the Giants, Tyler Boyd was the only Bengal I wanted to play, because they had been a pretty above-average matchup for slot wide receivers, and their defense just has been underrated, but they haven't been great. They've been middle of the pack more than anything. And I expected Brandon Allen to target Tyler, but he didn't. Tyler Boyd had 3 receptions for 15 yards, and it was T. Higgins. T. Higgins was the one who he leaned on. And you kind of look back to last year when Brandon Allen was in Denver. Who was the wideout he leaned on? It was Cortland Sutton. He was taking those shots down to the field, outside the numbers, and T. Higgins is the one who fits that mold. It's only one game, but we saw it last year. We see it through one game. It's hard to say that Higgins isn't the only Bengal worth playing right now, because you can't start Tyler Boyd after what he did last week.
Yeah, and back to the Gaskin thing, I think Gaskin is better with Fitzpatrick. I'm talking purely from fantasy football point of view. And again, it's interesting because Miami now at 7-4, the coaching staff saw Tua for a couple of games, and they know that they like him moving forward. But now they're 7-4. I think the coaching staff, look, all things being equal, they'll probably still roll with Tua. But if there's even a little bit of a nag in an ankle or a thumb or anything like that, they will be just fine going with the veteran quarterback. So it'll be interesting. Fantasy for the skill players, I think Fitzpatrick's better. I'm not going to make the argument that Tua, starting Tua isn't better. I would say if I'm the Dolphins and I'm trying to make a wild card push, I would take Fitzpatrick in the veteran leadership at this point. But Tua's pretty good, so I'm not going to bang the Dolphins if they kind of go back to Tua when he's healthy and all that stuff and build the confidence. Let me hit you with the line here quickly. Here, Bovada has Cincinnati plus 11.5 versus Miami. Who do you got?
11.5. I ain't touching that game if I don't have to. I'll take Miami though, just because I think Fitzpatrick is. If he starts, they got a good chance at putting up some points on this Cincinnati defense.
I think 11 and a half, man, that's a lot. And I love Miami. I think Miami wins this game. I think the defense will do fine. If Ryan Fitzpatrick is in the game, I guess I'll take Miami. If Tua is in the game, no disrespect, I just don't think they'll put up the points. He'll take care of the ball better than Fitzpatrick, but he won't push the ball down the field as much as Fitzpatrick, just because he's not there yet as a mature quarterback. He'll get there. I'm not worried about it. But basically, it hinges on the starting quarterback. If it's Tua, I'll take the points. If it's Fitzpatrick, I'll roll the dice and lay the points. Next game here,